Hello again, welcome back everyone. Liquorhound here with you. Thank you for joining me for another spirit review video. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Ardbeg Perpetuum. Now the Perpetuum wording was actually kind of tossed around when they were trying to figure out the name to this bottle. They actually threw around I think 3 different names. But they selected Perpetuum because they wanted it to represent Ardbeg's past, present, and future. Now this is the 2015 limited edition release to celebrate Ardbeg's 200th anniversary. Originally it was a distillery only bottling. But shortly after the festival, they released it to us, the masses, under a slightly different silver label. It is very striking, very beautiful against the traditional green Ardbeg bottle. But let's go ahead and get to the review and see what we think on the nosing and the tasting of it. As far as, well, I should mention, barrel maturation. Okay, barrel maturation on this one is a mix of ex-bourbon barrel and a little bit of sherry barrel matured Ardbeg. Again, they don't tell you how much. They don't even mention age on this bottling. It's very similar to the Ardbeg this last year, which was to celebrate the Soccer World Cup. That was another no age statement Ardbeg. Well, here we have one more. As you can tell by this color, it is very, very light. Pale straw on the color. So that to me tells me there's not a whole lot of sherry matured whiskey in here. You know, if you told me Fino, I might believe you. But as far as like being an Oloroso type sherry whiskey in here, it's very, very light. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the actual nosing. It has been open for about 3 to 5 minutes now. As far as the ABV, we're talking 47.4 proof. That's 94.8. Okay, so on the nose, I will say there's a very little discernible alcohol on the nose, so it doesn't smell particularly hot. But again, at 94.8, it really probably shouldn't. There is some, almost a little bit of citrus in here right up on the front. Some fruits, they're feeling a little bit soured. Yeah, so I think I would go with more of like a stewed fruits. Maybe you took some berries and some plums and you kind of stewed them for a little bit, and then you put in a little bit of citrus zest on top. That's kind of what I'm getting here on the aromatic. Beyond that, touch of honey, touch of heather, almost like a damp straw. Maybe like a more, not really too damp. It's not really farmy. Think more like a early morning dew type thing on the grass. There we go. Okay. Beyond that, it's just full of the peat's reek, the peat smoke lasting, going on the aromatic into a little bit of soot, a little bit of ash in here as well. There's also, strangely, like I was kind of picking it out. I was thinking it was part of the barrel, but there's a vanilla element in here that's reminding me of vanilla bean. Alright, let's go ahead and get to the tasting. Without any water first. Wow. Feels a little young to me. But then again, so did Ardbeg. I don't think they're running out of stock here. But it feels on the viscosity, it feels not quite even medium, maybe a touch below medium viscosity, between thin and medium. There's a little bit of spice. Again, it feels like a Ardbeg 10, but maybe with a bit more smoke. Maybe if you mix a little bit of the 2014 Supernova with Ardbeg 10, you're going to kind of get what we have here in this glass. As it enters, you kind of get, yes, that's where that citrus zest that I was picking up on the nose actually arrives right up front as a lemon zest coming on top of the stewed fruits. They are in there, but they're mostly mostly up front, lasting into the mid palate, because at the mid palate you're getting the cinnamon coming in, a little spice kick. And what's strange is that right up front, as the smoke enters, because you know it is Ardbeg, you do get a good amount of smoke coming in almost immediately. But as we hit the mid palate, that ash gets a really sooty, the smoke gets a really sooty ash going on into the finish. Moderately sweet for an Ardbeg. Sweet and smoky, a little bit of meat coming on right here at the mid palate as well. Smoked meat. So it's kind of a unique combination for an Ardbeg. You're getting the lemony zest, the stewed red fruits, hint of vanilla running throughout. You're getting smoke and ash, and you're getting smoked meats on the mid palate. The thing that I would say that I'm not very happy with on this one is the way those combination of flavors kind of fall out. By the mid palate, it starts leaning more on the smoke, starts leaning more on the ash, and you're just getting ash and smoke on the flavor into the finish. Finish, medium length maybe. Let's go ahead and add some water and see what this does to it. I'll just do 2 drops since there's not much left in there. A little swirl. Okay. So on the nose, when you add a little water, typically the first thing you'll get when you add water is the oak tannins blowing out of the glass. So you have to kind of give those a minute to calm down. But I'm not really getting that on this one. Actually, what I found more or amped up in volume is actually going to be the fruits and that lemon zest right up front. Fruit's still feeling a little sour, a little stewed. A little bit of that heather coming through, a little bit of that damp hay. Now I could almost say I would get a little bit of orchard fruits, a little bit of some like golden apples in the background mixed in with that smoke. So the water did help the fruits. It did actually calm down the ash or the sootiness that I was getting on the initial nosing. Alright, let's see what it tastes like. Wow. Okay, water's never going to help the mouthfeel, we know this. It does feel very soft, I will say that. Very soft as it enters. Yep. Ash is still there. It's still coming in right there at that mid palate. That's that smoke, initial smoke, and sweet smoke and fruits that you get up front are immediately overpowered to me by the ash and the soot that we get on the mid palate. So it's a good combination of flavors. I just don't think it's very balanced. And I wish the initial forward flavors could make it into the finish to kind of commingle. I don't even mind smoking ash as long as they intermingle with something else. And here, you're struggling to find the fruits. You're struggling to find that vanilla note. The only thing that lasts in with kind of the smoke is the meatiness, that smoked meat element going on. But that's about it, and it's leaning more on the ash. But I'm not going to say it's a horrible whiskey, because it's not. It's a good Ardbeg. It's not a great Ardbeg. If you've had some of the older Ardbegs, you're going to tell a huge difference between, a matter of fact, the last 2 releases from Ardbeg. Like I said, I don't know if they're running out of stock. Maybe that's why they're doing more of the wine-finished whiskeys or the special charred or heavy charred or toasted barrels. Because of the age stock that they're running low on. But regardless, Ardbeg is a huge name. They always produce very nice whiskeys. And this is another good one. Now, if you want to drop the $100 that it's going to cost to go pick this bottle up, that's up to you. It is going to be a collectible bottle one day, perhaps, because it is the 200th anniversary edition. But as far as a drinking whiskey, you might be better off with just a good quarter cask. Lefroy or maybe a Ardbeg 10. This one did not have any of the medicinal qualities that you typically find the iodine in the Lafroigs, but it was good. I will say that. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Everybody have a great evening, and cheers.